Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Right off the bat, I need to address the fact that this channel has reached 100,000 subscribers, which is fucking mind-blasting. While this is a really amazing achievement for myself, you guys are the real MVPs, so thank you very much for everybody who's subscribed and watched my videos over the years. I'm gonna be honest, I'm really awkward when it comes to sort of expressing my emotions, especially when I'm the center of attention, so I'm gonna keep this really brief. I just want to thank each and every one of you for watching me over the years, and for anybody who's new to my channel, what up? You've officially entered the chill spot. I like to think of my channel as like a really laid-back, sort of relaxed place where we just do our makeup and talk about shit. I've just always wanted to keep things very mellow and chill on my channel. Honestly, as soon as I press record on that camera, I try to pretend as if I'm talking to one of my friends that I haven't talked to in a few days. I'm just kind of trying to catch up. I keep things very conversational here. I do drop a few F-bombs here and there, and that's not everybody's cup of tea, but that's just who I am as a person, and I feel like the people that have been with me for a long time appreciate that about me, and I'm so thankful that you guys have stuck with me this long. I never had any expectations when I started my channel, and so far this has surpassed anything that I ever planned on doing here. So again, a big thank you to you guys, especially for just accepting me for who I am as a person. Monotone, potty-mouthed, awkward and all, you guys just kind of like feel me, and I feel you feeling me, you know? We vibe here. This place is all about vibes. Speaking of vibes, I've been a little bit MIA lately because I have completely torn this room apart and I'm starting over. I took apart all my furniture, I bought some new stuff, I've been Snapchatting about it. Future me editing this video is gonna be so pissed off about that piece of hair that was just out of place over here. I've completely decluttered, I've changed things around, I've kind of made it more of a creative space for me. I feel so much more inspired being in here, especially since I've decluttered and there's a lot more room. I do need to get a carpet because there's a little bit of echo in my video, so that'll come later. But anyway, that's where I've been. I am back now with this tutorial. I am all about this tutorial. This is the lip that I had on in my last LUSH haul. For those of you who are asking, I absolutely live for it, and I feel like the eyes go perfectly with the lip. Dare I say it's a little bit monochromatic? I don't know. I hope you guys enjoy it. I really enjoyed filming it, and I'm gonna go hang out with my best friend now. Not you guys, but my other best friend who has been waiting for my ass to come pick her up. We're gonna have some wine, and I'm probably gonna edit this video. So yeah, those are all the updates that I have for you today. Let's get this tutorial started.
As usual, I'm starting out by priming my lids with the MAC Soft Ochre Paint Pot. Today's another one of those videos where I'm revisiting a palette that I was stoked to buy when I first bought it, and I sometimes forget about. This is the Tartelette palette. It's an all matte eyeshadow palette, and I first set my eyelids using Free Spirit. Next, I took Supermom and I applied it just below my brow hairs along my brow bone. To start building up the look, I'm taking Natural Beauty and I'm blending it into my crease as well as dragging it down towards the outer edges of my eyes. This palette can be a little bit hard to work with sometimes. I definitely had issues in the very beginning when I purchased it, but the key I think is using a really good eye primer before using the shadows, as well as being very patient and just building it up and blending the shades properly. This palette makes you work. I do wish the lighter shades were a little bit more buttery, but I can make pretty much anything work. I refuse to give up. I also want to point out that the brush that I'm using is by Morphe, and it was shedding like hell in this clip. I kept having to stop and pull out the loose hairs. This happens with a lot of their black handle brushes. I don't know if it's just me, but it drives me crazy. Next, with a smaller brush, I'm applying Wanderer above that first shade, and I'm blowing it out upwards towards my brow, and I really like the effect that blowing out a color gives. It looks almost seamless. Now I'm taking Best Friend and I'm deepening up that outer crease and building on Natural Beauty, which was a lighter mauve. Another thing I find works when working with this palette is kind of dabbing the eyeshadow onto the lid and not sweeping it out of place as much. Rather than doing back and forth sweeping motions, I just dab. See, I'm just going in with the dabbing here. Now I'm working on that front portion of the lid. The effect that I want is a soft, light frontal area of the eye with a smoky transition from the middle to the outer edge, if that makes sense. All the drama should appear on the outer edge of the eye, so I'm taking Free Spirit and generously pressing it into the front to middle portion of my eye and I'm blending it into those mauve shades. I also tried taking some of Supermom and placing it right in the tear duct, but I'm gonna be honest, this shade does not transfer opaque at all, so I ended up having to dip into one of my MAC eyeshadow palettes and kind of go over that area, which you'll see later in the video. Now I'm touching up the first two mauve shades, and then I'm taking an art store brush and I'm continuing to deepen up that outer edge with Bombshell, which is like a really deep eggplant.
There's nothing left for me to do. I'm running back myself a fool. No point in trusting anyone. Your eyes are diamonds, keep me up. Never thought that it could be this rough. No point in trusting anyone.
Each time I go back in and deepen up the crease or the outer edge with a new shade, you'll notice that I go back into the front portion of my lid and I touch that area up as well because it tends to get lost underneath the darker shades. This here is a random MAC eyeshadow palette of mine. Like I said earlier, the lighter shades in the Tartelette palette are not as opaque and crisp as I'd like, so I'm just gonna go in with this white eyeshadow by MAC. Don't remember the exact name of it, I'll put it in the down bar. And I'm gonna run it directly under my brow hairs and lightly along my brow bone, as well as in my tear ducts, and I might actually just go over the middle of my eyelid with that as well, why not? You can definitely see the difference after I've gone in with this crisp white shade. I don't even need to tell you how I'm about to do my winged eyeliner because you already know. I'm using my Physicians Formula 2-in-1 Eye Booster pen. This is my shit. I live for it. This time though, I'm doing a winged eyeliner and then I'm kind of smoking it out with an angled brush and Fashionista, which is a matte black. I do wish, again, that this black was deeper and more pigmented, but it'll do for what I'm trying to achieve today. So I'm just lightly running that brush just along the top of my wing and lightly feathering the brush sideways and upward. Then I'm going to take an art store brush with a little bit more Fashionista and I'm dragging it from the end of my wing into the outer edge. Then I'm taking my angled brush and I'm lightly running Fashionista in a thin line at the front of my lash line so everything is uniform and that front part of the eye doesn't sort of look out of place and forgotten since I didn't run my eyeliner all the way into the inner corner. And now I'm just adding a little bit more Wanderer above my crease and lightly blending it out, and I'm sort of redefining the wing of my eyeliner and cleaning it up with a little bit of concealer so it's nice and sharp. For eyelashes today, I'm using quite possibly, if not my favorite style of eyelash, which is Iris by Koko lashes. Chunky, yet feathery and spaced out. These are just perfection. If you haven't tried this particular style, I highly recommend that you do. Before applying them, I'm just going to use some L'Oreal Telescopic Mascara. I ran out of House of Lashes glue, so I'm going to be using Duo today, which I actually kind of prefer using with a thin invisible band like these ones. You know that moment when your eyebrows are on point, but one of them gets real itchy, so you just tap the shit out of it with a hard object? That's what's happening here. Moving on to the face, I'm priming my skin using the Makeup Forever Smoothing Primer, and for foundation today I'm going to be using the Makeup Forever Matte Velvet Plus. This is the shade 30, and I'm just going to buff it into my skin using a Sephora brand complexion brush, I believe it's called. And then I'm going to move on to concealer, which is the MAC Studio Select Cover Concealer. I'm just going to blend that out with a damp beauty blender. And I'm going to set it with the Laura Mercier Translucent Setting Powder. And then to set the rest of my face, I'm using the Ben Nye Luxury Powder in the shade Buff. And to do this, I'm using an e.l.f. flat top brush. And to warm up my face, I'm using that same brush, and I'm just hitting up all the necessary spots with the MAC Mineralize Skinfinish in medium. For blush today, we're gonna go with MAC Breath of Plum. I love this shade, and I skipped out on the highlight today because I'm gonna be honest with you, contrary to what the internet says, I don't think every look requires highlighter. I'm actually starting to get over that trend. Not that I was ever really under that trend and like bathing myself in highlighter to begin with, but you get what I'm saying. Just wanting to keep things matte today. Now I'm taking Best Friend again and I'm running it along my lower lash line, applying some mascara to my baby lashes and moving on to my lips. I lined my lips first with the Plum liner by MAC, which was completely the wrong fucking choice in color, but I started and I was already committed, so I stayed with it. I was really only using lip liner as a guide anyway, and then I ended up taking some LA Splash liquid lipstick in Goulish and partly filling in my lips, which by the way is very pretty, but it is also drying as fuck. So make sure you use a good lip balm underneath. I'm leaving the center of my lip blank and I'm finishing it off with the Kat Von D Everlasting Liquid Lipstick in Requiem. This is an absolutely beautiful lilac shade. I just love it. I think it looks gorgeous, especially with Goulish. If you haven't tried this combo and this is the first time seeing it, do it up. You will not regret it. And what I like to do when I'm blending two shades into one another is just sort of pat the inner shade with my finger to sort of give that natural gradient effect, if you know what I'm saying. Anywho, that completes this makeup tutorial. I hope you guys enjoyed it. As usual, all the products that I use will be listed in the description box below. Thank you guys very much for watching. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for 100K. I love you very much, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.